All right, I'm back expressing myself on the Sci-Fi Express lane. Just Jeff Carroll here, writer, comic book creator, and filmmaker. I just want to kind of start off. I think I'm going to be doing a couple of these reaction videos to the Harlem Comic Book Festival. Shout out to the producers. Shout out to all of the people who attended. No joke. It was 11 years in the making for me, because I've been wanting to go since the first one when I had my book, The Harlem Shake. Just so eager to go to everything, and I think kind of was a good time to go now. And you'll see kind of within my reaction, I think it was the best time for me to go. As much as I wanted to go years prior, I harbored no bad feelings, so that's good. But I definitely wanted to go. However, this was probably my most unique comic book experience for two reasons. One, while I've gone to ECBOC, KimFest, a couple of ECBOCs and KimFest, this was a black comic book event, and it wasn't ashamed or scared to be black. When I say that, black illustrators will have all types of black comic creators create all types of comics, and other conventions were shaping, more, right? The black expression, I went to a black comic book convention, and I had comic Imani the Killer, and I was sectioned off. There was no nudity in it. It's just the killer was in the title. It wasn't even blood, gory, anything more than Conan the Barbarian, and I had to be sectioned off. This one was right out in the mainstream. The other reason why I like this is because it was packed, unbelievably packed. I'm gonna post a video, I might even edit it into this video, of how ram-packed it got, where you couldn't even see my table or the tables around me from walking, because there was so many people. It was layered deep, and you had to know what you was looking for. This is when those top high-level displays come into play. However, I couldn't travel with mine, so I couldn't even get mine there. Had I had mine there, I really would have stood out. But it was good enough. So how did it impact me? Well, one, the sales were a different type of sale. It's almost, if you could have sales like this every week, or shoot, every month, you would be able to retire, it would be hard to create, because you selling so much. You ordering and selling. However, what I think I liked about the sales of this event was that it was a black comic book convention, and people came there for black comics. And in the mainstream conventions, you stand out. Like, oh my God, I didn't know they were black comics. You got these people. Oh, is this real? Oh, look at this. It's a novelty, Or then you have the black people, kind of get upset with you for looking at them when they either don't want to come by, they're just looking for the mainstream, the X-Men or the manga. Was none of that distractions here. It wasn't even any, sketch kind of artists. You seem like the manga artist, dude selling product, was none of that. It was all, everybody on their table had a comic book. It was all comic book creators. You didn't have t-shirt people. You didn't have anybody else. All you had was comic book people. And I think that was different, and this has a reputation for just having comic book creators there. Of course, there was a couple of authors, people like me that do books, that write novels. But even with us, we had comic books. And I think that's the beautiful. It wasn't a book fair. It wasn't a science fiction convention, although I think that's a nice graduation if they ever get larger space to add on some science fiction books. But for the comic book lovers, that's what they had. And, it probably had like maybe 80% of the top indie black comic book people there. So that was a good thing too, because you got the cream of the crop. There's a few people that I see around the country that weren't there, but for the most part, everybody that I see on social media in these groups with real top quality work was there. I regard mine as top quality, maybe tiered down. I do different types of illustrators, so a lot of people don't understand the aesthetics, or they think aesthetics is a drop down. But for the most part, man, these guys I was keeping. Also, I had by volume. I got like 7 or 8 comics. There were dudes that had more than one book. But there wasn't as much of a variety as I had, especially when you factor in my novels. It was rap, and I didn't have any. I'll show you a picture of my table. I didn't have any stands. I just had my books laid out, and I don't even know if I'll try it again, but it really worked well. So that was that. And then, on the other side, you had people coming in saying, I've never seen so many, I didn't know black people was into it like this, and that's a good thing. You find that, like, down in Miami area, we got Beyond Comic Con, and that is a black run convention, but it ain't only black creators. We got one in the city of Miramar. It's a black city, but it ain't only black creators. This one does it because everybody wants to be commercial. This convention got 6,000 something people, 6,800 people, unapologetically black. You understand? It don't hide its name. Black Harlem Black Comic Book Convention or whatever. Harlem is black, so that's all you're gonna get. That's all they had on the menu. Black and Latino, and the Latino people respected blackness. They wasn't trying to portray white characters or hide behind their Latino-ness. There wasn't no confusion. It was we black and brown people. That's what I like about New York. They embrace their African heritage. Do you understand? Boricua, right? I don't know if I'm saying the name wrong, out of respect. But she was there. That's black Puerto Rican. Come on. All right? So we had that there. You had people understanding that's what we had there. Now, of course, black people's coming for black comics. So even the white people, it was white people there. So shut your mouth, right? Saying it's going to be black, it's only going to be black people. There's a lot of nervous black creators out here thinking they're losing the market. I sold more comics at this convention than I've sold at any convention. Mind you, I've never had a table at Comic Con in San Diego, and I've never had a table in New York Comic Con. And I think if anyone is capable of rivaling it, it will probably be New York Comic Con. And sister told me about one in DC, and I think that might be capable of it. But that's it. This is it. So shut your mouth. There's a whole bunch of black dudes that want to be integrated characters and all that stuff. No, bro, this is where you need to be. I recommend Rodney Barnes, dude. You need to come. You need to they will love you, dude. You need to bring all of your stuff in stock For real, everybody black, the top creators need to come here. You mainstream dudes, David Walker, Kevin Grievous, yo, if you've done anything light skinned, keep it at home. Bring your blackity black stuff up here. Kevin, bring that what you call it, Bass Reeves joint that you had up at Walmart. You understand? David, bring the hated, yo. Bring those things. Bitter Root needs to be up in there. Blackula needs to be up in there. Right next to Cyberfunk Streets. My joints is right there with you. So that's the energy, right? The other thing is now it's all black, okay? It's all black and brown. Now you don't have those people coming through the mainstream events. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see somebody with a comic book like mine. You lose that because now those people will be like, yo, I'll buy everything on your table. You know, I call it the Marcus Roberts. He was the one that told me. He said, yo, man, people just buy everything. You know, Marcus Roberts, you got to come black. You know, your protector, bring it. Bring it. Trust me. All that light-skinned stuff, there wasn't even no black people with white characters on their covers. That's how black it was. All right? Everything was blackly black. And it didn't hurt. It helped because that's what the people wanted. You understand? They wanted that diversity. They wanted that, what you call it? That melanin. You know, I was saying on the table, I was like, yo, everything on here has melanin. As a selling point. As a selling point, Milton Davis. As a selling point. The blacker it was, Balagoon, it was there. You know, it wasn't no argument. You know what I'm saying? And it was packed. It was packed. It was like for a whole hour, 2 hours, you could not walk on the floor. And then it did it again later on Saturday. So I couldn't sell fast enough. People was like, yo, I'm going to go to the next, I'll be back, because you see you're busy. You understand? And I'm not making that up. I had my niece there chilling. She ended up having to help me bag comics. I've never had that before. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I put stuff on social media, and I got a bunch of pictures, but, you know, I be sitting at the table sometime for like 10, maybe half an hour, and nobody comes through just because the convention isn't ram-packed like that. And, you know, this one, if you sat for 5 minutes, yo, if you went to the bathroom, there was somebody coming back when you came back at your table waiting for you. That's how packed and, you know, rarely slow it was, because it was always somebody in the room. Always somebody in the room. We was on the second floor. There was a basement, there was a main room, and there was 2 rooms on the second floor. So we was in the back room on the second floor by the exit. I don't mind that spot. I'll be there again next year. I have no problem anywhere. Cats was selling out on the second floor, on the first floor, in the basement. I sold out of one title, even a couple of books, but I only brought like 2 or 3 copies of each book. So selling out of 2 copies is not really a sellout. But my horror book sold out. It might have been one of 2 horrors that was there. And I'm going deeper into the horror. So yeah, that's that. What else I wanted to say? Was something else? Okay, so how did it impact me, right? Being around all of this blackness and these different black creators, David Crowson, Greg, Elise, Greg and Marcus from Tuskegee Air, Javier, my man Stephen Harris, my man Principal Nasheed, my man Newton, dudes that inspired me, being right next to Andre Batts from Detroit. If I'm missing anybody, yo, I apologize, right? Saw John Jennings up in the piece, Sean Martinborough. I actually saw his teacher, my director of Gold Digger Killer, Roderick Giles. My mentor, James Small, came through, sat with me for like 2 hours. Sat at my table, chilled. people's coming up to him saying, yo, I know you from Godfather Harlem. I know you from New York City. You know, yo, it was there. So how did it affect me? Yo, I'm definitely stepping up my game. I definitely believe in comics, the potential of them to sell. I'm motivated to spend more money on the production of my comics, whether that is through illustrators, which I'm not upset with my illustrators, but maybe more pinups. I actually don't know what I'm going to do differently because I did very well and I'm not upset with what I had. So anyway, part one, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Peace.